I was going to call my third tape something duck. That way I could sell that chicken tape, that rooster tape, and that duck tape. You know what you call it when you're coming down off Viagra? Viagra Falls. You know when you see one of them packages that say no fat or no caffeine, that means ain't no fat or no caffeine in it, right? But when you see one of them packages that says fat-free or caffeine-free, that just means they ain't charging you for it. If the word evaporated means dried up and disappeared, well then could you tell me what could be inside the can of evaporated milk? You know, I never said that I could sing. This driver asked me the other day if I could sing tenor and solo. He said 10 or 12 miles on down the road and so low so he couldn't hear me. And I'm coming out with this new echo tube that fits a Road King mic. They're $60 cheaper than a Connex board. What it is, that cardboard roll in the middle of a roll of toilet paper, that thing fit right around that old chicken wire on that Road King mic. And if you want more echo, you get the one out of paper towel roll. This driver come in the CB shop the other day and told Steve he never could get his radio to work in the state of Pennsylvania. He said every time he goes in that state, he always flips that switch up on PA, but he never can get his radio to work. I was on TV the other day. They had me on America's Most Unwanted. I was sitting in my truck the other day, and I was sitting there doing my paperwork, and I looked down there on the ground, and there's these pigeons, walking around down on the ground down there. And I started thinking, if all them other pigeons are homing pigeons, does that mean these are homeless pigeons? You know why people from New York are always in such a bad mood? Because the only thing they've ever seen at the end of that tunnel was New Jersey. If you've ever tried to use your fuel card at Walmart, you're probably a chicken holler. I was in Pennsylvania here a while back, and I was going up one of them little hills, got them signs on, say flashers on below 40. And this JB driver pulled up beside me and asked me what the temperature was. Anybody out there want to buy a brand new box? I got a brand new box still in the box. You got one left, take $20 for it. Ain't nothing in it. You can put anything you want to in it. Ain't nothing on it. You can put anything you want to on it. Brand new box, still in the box. Got one left, take $20 for it. Any of you drivers going 40 west, I heard they got 40 shut down over there on the other side of Barstow. And can somebody tell me the final mile marker here in Oklahoma on 40 going west? Any of you drivers getting ready to get down there on 10 East, going through Mobile? I heard that tunnel down there at Mobile is underwater. If anybody's interested, I got one left handheld 52-inch color TV. Got one left. I'm also designing clap-on for the CB radio. That way when you pull into a truck stop and all them drivers are talking on their kickers, all you got to do is key your mic and clap your hands, and it'll shut all their radios off, and then you can talk to anybody you want to. I'm also coming out with caller ID for the CB, and instead of call waiting, I've got call coming in, come in. I'm also selling peepholes for your drivers or your passenger door windows. I got some speed bumps for your garage or your carports. And can somebody come over here and help me slide my drives? Nowadays you don't know if drivers are saying 10-4 or 10-foil. And you know what they call someone that likes to camp out a lot? Campophonique. And you know what lot lizards use for mouthwash? Horoscope. And you know what you got if you got a whole room full of lot lizards? You got one full set of teeth. Things have changed out here since I drove. I guess nowadays drivers got one radio they go forward with and another radio they go backwards with, because this driver the other day kept trying to sell me his backup radio. Now I was trying to teach this kid how to drive a truck the other day, and I told him to put his hands at the 10-2 position, and he asked me AM or PM. That boy needed a checkup from the neck up. And you know what you get if 6 student drivers all leave the truck stop at the same time? 12 empty parking spaces. I guess old Bobbitt's out here driving a truck now. I guess he got him a new Peterbilt. This student driver asked me the other day, he said, "Are you a driver?" I said, "No, man, I'm a low-profile steering tire." I was coming down to Memphis here the other day, was going back to Oklahoma, and this old driver got on the radio, and he said he needs somebody to drive his truck out of the eastbound scales. So I hollered at him, told him I go down there and make a flip, and I come back, pulled in there, and he's shut down because he's out of hours. So I went out and filled that logbook out, went in there and showed the scale master my CDL and that logbook. He told us we could go on. We drove 1 mile and ran out of fuel. So here this driver, in about 10 minutes, he got shut down because he's out of hours. I got him out of the scales, drove 1 mile and run out of fuel, and his handle was "can't be done." And that's a true story. I got a friend of mine who works at a CB shop, and I can't say his name because he don't like this joke, but he's always going around going BR549. But one day he was working on the radio, and he hollered for me. He said, "How am I hitting you on your meter?" And I said, "Well, got that old South American radio hooked up today. Today you hit me with about 3.5 kilos. He said, "Never mind." This driver hollered the other day. He said, "Anybody know if we got a line over there at the Truck Wars?" And I looked over, I said, "Well, hell, one of them drivers ought to have one." I was going through the construction the other day, and I seen that sign that said bump. Hell, I pulled over, waited about 15, 20 minutes. Nobody ever brought me one. Damn, that might have been 07. 07 missed his calling drivers. He wasn't meant to be a truck driver. 07 was meant to start his own Weight Watchers program and make a living doing that, because he's the only guy I know who can lose 2.5 pounds in 30 minutes. I was up there in that gay bay one time, and I got out of my truck and I dropped my keys on the ground. I kicked them keys all the way down to LA before I bent over and picked them up. God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Romans 1:27. This driver told me the other day, he said, "Ray, you ain't right." And I said, "Yeah, I ain't left yet either." You know why they call magic markers magic markers? You know, it seems like if they're magic markers, when you think of one and when you need one real bad, if they're magic, shouldn't they just show up about that time? I remember one time me and Tracy in Underpass sitting in Tracy's truck, and his alternator belt broke. We were about a mile from Walmart, so we limped on down there to Walmart. Well, we didn't have no tools. Tracy had left his toolbox home in Alabama, forgot to put it on the truck before he left the house. And Lee didn't have no tools. So anyway, we had about $3 or $4 between us, and so I told him I had an idea. So I took that money, went into Walmart, and I bought this little plastic toolbox. And I went and bought a can of that liquid rinse. And I went back outside and opened that toolbox up, and I took that tray out the top of that toolbox, and I sprayed that liquid rinse in the bottom of that toolbox. I put that tray back in it, and I sprayed that liquid rinse in that tray of that toolbox, and I closed that toolbox. And we waited 15 minutes, opened it up, and had a complete set of deep sockets, metric pliers, and metric wrenches. That old liquid rinse, some pretty good stuff.